Okay, this is apparently called Revival Party. Looks like it's already starting off with like maybe some flash forward action here. There's like a fight going on with some villainous characters.
It was chaos. People across the planet had
Oh,
to
it's a
find peaceful
flashback.
ways to adapt to a new reality, especially Chikara Yotsubashi. He called himself Destro,
Okay.
the man who would destroy the present.
So it's the OG Destro from back in the day.
In his time, organization was thought to be dissolved.
So
Destro and
these guys weren't quite as successful as All for One was then. But also, if they fought basically a war against the government, why is the government letting them spread their ideology with this book? Like, they're not being secretive about selling the thing. They're selling it out in the open.
ended up writing a book.
How are things progressing?
Their salute
We
is like
managed
a
to track
loser
down
sign.
someone who has solid connections to the League. If we're going to approach them,
It means
the sooner the
liberation.
better.
They're enemies of...
It's still the My Villain intro. That's cool. That lets you know you're still in the same story arc. Okay. And this will be how Deca City went down.
Completely guide today, so if you want to speak to our esteemed
Slide and
leader,
go.
you can follow my lead. A hero? I'm not.
Wait, hold up.
I get it.
The news reported that there were casualties. So were all the casualties actually Liberation Army members and not the actual people who lived in this town? Ooh, yeah. Shigaraki's kind of hacks.
Culprit, right?
Yeah, so her problem is she's not great without setup, right? No matter how great she may be at combat, she's still like a kid, right? So she needs to have a stockpile of people whose blood she has so that she can transform. Like, she's much better at infiltration than combat. Or if she is good at combat, she has to have someone's blood who's good at combat, you know, so she can kind of steal their physical attributes. Or I don't know how closely she mimics them either, but at least when she copied that guy during the Hasaikai raid, she seemed to be at least as fast as him.
Miko Toga? Nope.
She like would just drain people to death. Wow.
They're having to ration the monsters
Hmm.
that made them.
This guy's smart.
Opponents.
Serve liberation warriors train each day in preparation for the
I kind of forgot what Spinner's power is.
repeatedly drilling their long time ago.
Oh,
Say
she's
little
kind of like
I'll have you bare your soul to me now.
cuddling that
The
one next to her.
public's interest in the league is one thing.
She's got some devotees.
Straight for the jugular.
I'm curious. Meta ability, landmine. She can turn anything she
Landmines,
touches into
wow,
a bomb.
okay.
They're not too lethal, but she has.
I like how her name is Curious because she's a reporter. What?
By the way, don't even think bombs for the cause.
What?
So, at 17, you're the oldest daughter of the top.
She turned her own goons into landmines? So Toga can't copy them. They'll just explode. Wow. That's messed up. So she cannot just make landmines like out of the ground or objects. She can do it to people too. I wonder if that means, do they explode on contact or when she wants them to explode?
So how'd you end up?
What happened?
When did things first go off the
I have been
rails?
wondering that about Toga. Ah, that's such a good shot.
So I love you. I love you so much. It
Oh.
hurts.
But she wants to copy people she loves. It's like a weird like fixation. That's why she wanted to get Izuku's blood and Uraraka's blood.
Middle school.
So good.
You know, though, it makes you wonder, how did she find out what her power was? You know, if you have a power like that, I think I'd probably ask the same question when Stain came up, because his power also involves ingesting blood. Like, if you're a kid whose quirk hasn't obviously shown itself when you're young, how do they figure out what your quirk is and what are the activation properties? Like, drinking someone else's blood isn't a normal action, right? So how did they figure out that that's actually how their power works? Is it something that can be medically found out, like in a lab when kids are young, or do they have to like actually experience the triggering effect? You know, when was the first time Toga drank blood, I guess, is basically what I'm trying to say.
She had the most repulsive look of bliss on her face.
Oh my god.
I knew
Wow.
it. My
She's
instincts
creepier than
are
I
sharp
thought.
as ever. You is to blame. This world.
Oh no.
What you thought was completely natural. You were lit on your desires, suppressing
Ah.
yourself, wearing a mask over your true
I love these
identity.
visuals.
Your life
Whoa.
will be written about in our modern-day holy book as a shining example of that.
What a
truth.
different shot from the
Please
rest
tell
of the
me if
show.
my thoughts seem incomplete in any way.
To be like you too.
Can she actually use their powers too? She can! They had bad info about her quirk.
I was chased by the police at work.
Oh! And she just like turned. Ugh.
Why was that again?
You almost forget that he's Nana's grandson.
You're gonna be fine. I've got.
It's like a corrupted string.
Is that his sister?
Great. Just in case.
Are you waiting for me to strike, or is there something wrong with your meta ability?
I really like this person's voice.
Got a lot to learn. What happened? Toga. This
And these
can't
two are
be
close to
real.
each other.
It is. I can be.
What?
You're the only one who needed this failed human being. Damn it! I'll kill.
This strikes me as fairly creepy. I never really thought about it before, how friendly they seemed with each other, but like, he's a grown-ass man and she's a teenage girl. It's kind of weird. I don't know. I don't know what's going on there. I mean, I know that emotionally he's kind of compromised, so maybe he just feels like she was the only one that was friendly with him, so he's kind of latched onto her.
Bridges or desks into sentient puppets.
Oh, that's messed up.
Abilities at hand. No matter what happens,
Oh, they're
to
actually
Destro,
shaped like
he
him.
can persuade you to join the Liberation Army.
He has a very, very useful power. Well, we didn't get as much extra story as I would have liked from this episode. However, the style of it was top notch, I will say. Like a lot of really unique shots and a lot of really good visuals and imagery. We are getting more information about the Meta Liberation Army, like the lieutenants, for lack of a better word, of it, which I'm sure are all going to be important later because they're in the intro. That's going to be the main conflict of next season, whenever that will be. So I'm excited to see, because we know Deca City gets destroyed, and we know the League escaped, and we know the League is helping with the Meta Liberation Army in the future. So clearly something changes here, probably more than just Gigantomachia showing up to make the Liberation Army change their mind about whether they want to destroy or cooperate with the League of Evil.